Hey everybody, what's up? What's going down? You're locked in with Tanisha Portier in the podcast. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be here. It is 2022. It's been a minute since I've made a podcast, since 2018, for that whole year, 2019, and now we're getting back in the groove. So if you caught my older podcast, I know you were rocking them out. Like I know you were listening to them and having a great time. And now we've got some stuff to talk about, and there's going to be a lot over a series of podcasts. So take off your shoes, relax your feet, party on down to my beat, just kick it. Yes. So hey, listen, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tanisha Portier. I am a global innovator for the 21st century. So I know, I feel, I see, say, touch, taste, believe that I'm here to create, Like I'm here to cultivate my natural gifts and talents by first starting by helping and healing myself, helping my family, and then the world. So let's get this party started. Topic. What is our topic today? We are talking about natural gifts and talents. Yes, that is right. And here's why we're talking about it. It's just because there's been so much of an upheaval, an uproar, people all around the world. I'm not talking about isolated things. I'm talking about people around the globe wanting more in life. And since this whole pandemic, after, during, and while all of these changes that are happening all around the world, people are sitting back because some people have been in lockdown. Some people have noticed that, that their job has been very, very disposable. And, if you're not an essential worker, then you can't go out. And, there's just been so many different changes. There's been, kids have been at home for a year or two, or back on and off, remote, back in school, mask on, mask off. And there's so many different changes. So people are just kind of wondering, like, wait a minute. They've been at home all this time in lockdown, and they've had so much time to think about what's really going on that they're locking in on their natural gifts and talents. In other words, people are really trying to discover what and why they were here and why they were created. Well, you see, that is what happens when you get some time alone, when you are not able to go back to your 9 to 5 on a daily basis, when you're not always having noise in your ear, when you're not taking orders, when you're not doing this or that, or when you're not caught up in the everyday, day-to-day life and the things that are involved with it. You're getting some time to sit back. And yet it can be a little bit still chaotic if you have a family and you've been at home and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm ready to start to get out. Because as we know, some places in the world are starting to open back up. There's flights all around. There's more people that are starting to travel, get out, go outside, get togethers and events and planning and things like that. So if that is you, congratulations. Let me give you an air high five, right? A cyber high five, because this is what's going on. People are like, look, it's time for me to break out of my shell. It's kind of like, where, what now, who, like what, what's open, what's not. What should I be doing with my life? They're reevaluating their work-life balance. They're reevaluating their personal life mission. They're reevaluating their dreams, their goals, their reality. And they're taking a moment to stop and step back and say, is this really what I've always wanted to do? I mean, I've had some time to think about it, and I know I've been at this job for 10 years, for 15 years, or maybe even 5 months. Maybe even, 3 months. And it's just like, you feel like, man, when I got this job, this is it. I'm going to be here. I'm going to retire. This is my goal. Or maybe I'll just grow and, go upward mobility up that corporate ladder and then see what's going on. Or maybe I'll just explore in some of these nonprofit, or just kind of be an undecided major, but tap into a couple of things and see what's good for me, what works now. But, and explore. Yes. And all those things are fine, right? But you still have an empty space where you are. There's still something about it where you're like, yeah, it's bringing in the money. Yeah, it's something stable. Yeah, it's covering the bills. And, I have some spending money. I can put some things aside. I can purchase some things that I've always wanted. And it's great. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful. This is definitely a blessing for the Most High. But I'm still not fulfilled. And that question question that's going on all around the world. It's not just you. It's not just you listening. I know you tapped in. I know you listened on the podcast because you saw natural dreams, gifts, talents, goals, like find these out, like tap into it. I know you're like very curious about what is this podcast all about. Well, listen, if you've had this question, if you heard this question, if you've read about it, if you've seen the Great Resignation, if you've seen why millions and hundreds and thousands of people are quitting their jobs on the spot that have been there for years and years and years, and they're like, wait a minute, there's more to life. There's something deep inside of me that I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to dig in. I'm trying to dive deep and see why I was created. Because the number one thing in life is people want to know why they are here. They don't want to leave this earth without any regrets. And so the thing about it is that there's a great man. And it's back and forth between the two, between Les Brown and the late, great Dr. Miles Monroe, who said that, the richest place in the world is the graveyard. And it goes something like, because there are gifts that have never been opened, there are books that have never been written, there are songs that have never been sang, there are so many things, basically, that people have said they're going to do or started to plan or said, well, not right now, but we'll do it later. I know that I've got these talents, but it's really not all of that. So I'm just going to get a job. I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to follow the rules and go along with life because this is what I'm supposed to do, right? Pause for effect. And when I heard that quote, and don't quote me on that, but I'm just kind of summarizing it to the best of my ability, but you know what I'm saying. Basically, when you do not live your natural gifts and talents, when you leave this earth, when people leave this earth, when we leave this earth without doing what we are called here to be, it's like there's a void. It's like there's a regret. And the graveyard is so full, so full of all of the amazing and wonderful things that we have been given since birth. Now take a minute to think about that. Take just 10 seconds to think about what you loved to do when you were just a little child. Do you remember that? Do you remember the things that came so easy to you? The things that you used to run around the house and do and think you could be, and it was just you without a care in the world. Or maybe when you grew up a little bit, and then when you got into school and, you were young and the teacher encouraged you, you can be anything that you want to be. Dream, shoot for the stars, and then as you continue to matriculate and get up into a higher grade levels, it became a little bit more structured and a little bit more, get a job, work your 9 to 5 so that you can get in a good college, and then, go to school, go into college, and then buy a home, 2.5 kids with a dog, a car, and you're living the American dream, and everything is right? And you know what? So many people are there. So many people have gotten it. And you know what? The thing about I'm learning is that even, what I'm hearing in reading and just discovering is that even people with massive amounts of wealth, that doesn't mean they're satisfied just because the way they accumulated their wealth doesn't necessarily have to be a negative way. Even the positive ways that they have connected and have been able to generate that wealth doesn't make them happy, doesn't make them fulfilled. It doesn't make them feel like they are living their purpose. Now take 5 seconds to pause for a fact.